morning, dear students. Today we are going to continue the remaining part of the lesson, The Landscape of the Shore, written by Naftali Traoré, and we will have questions based on paragraph number 4, 5 and 6. The very first, we will learn about the paragraph of 4, 5 and 6 in detail. Thereafter, we will pass question one by one and answer them. In the China story, the emperor commissions a painting and appreciates its outer appearance, describing about the features of the classical stories as well as painting in ancient China. The writer here points out his personal opinion in this concern and clarifies that the main purpose of the stories as well as of the paintings in all China is only to make applaud of the outer appearance of a painting. But the artist reveals to him the true meaning of his work. The real meaning of painting or any kind of art or work is not only to appreciate its outer appearance as well as to reveal the real exact meaning of that work. The emperor may rule over the territory he has conquered, describing about the regulations as well as the rules about ancient China. The writer here says that a king or emperor of the China was quite suitable to rule any part or any other country which he had defeated in the battlefield or war. Let me show the way, or thou, a word that means both the path or the method and the mysterious works of the universe. In this line, in this paragraph, the writer here uses a very popular word, thou. He describes its meaning in detail, that the meaning of the word thou means in China both the path or the method to create something and the mysterious work of the universe. The deep meaning of the word thou means the wonderful and mysterious works and arts as well as paintings made by the Chinese. The painting is gone, but the artist has reached its goal. Describing about that painting painted by conquest about the Emperor Tang, the writer here says that the painting made on the street had vanished, but the artist has reached his goal. But making such kind of paintings as well as arts and works, it is the purpose of such kind of paintings and art to reveal its true sense, its true meaning in true sense beyond any material appearance. It means some kind of work, painting as well as will not be present before us yet we will get success to appreciate it, disclosing its secrecy. A classical Chinese landscape is not meant to reproduce an actual way. Describing about the classical Chinese landscape, the writer here says that the paintings or pictures of something special landscape is not to make an actual or exact figure of that place as would a Western figurative paintings. This is the features of the Western countries as they try to reproduce the actual view by their figures of the landscape. Whereas the European painter wants you to borrow his eyes and look at a particular landscape exactly as he saw it. Describing about the features of the painters of the Europes as well as of so many other Western countries, the writer here points out his personal view and tells us that the painters as well as artists of the European countries wishes to us to borrow their eyes so that we could calculate about their landscape in the same way as they think about it. From a specific angle, the Chinese painter does not choose a single viewpoint. On the contrary, the purpose of the classical Chinese painter is not to produce a figure or picture of some special landscape in the same way. His landscape is not a real one. The real meaning painted or figured by a painter of China is not the same as we see, as we realize it. And you can enter it from any point. We are quite free to describe about a picture of a landscape painted by Chinese according to our own ways. We are quite free in this matter. The artist creates a path you two or eyes to travel up and down and back again is leisurely movement. The main purpose of the painters of the classical or ancient China is to make a way, to create a way so that somehow we can enter in the spirit of their paintings and we could understand about it according to our own ways. This is even more true in the case of horizontal scroll, which the action of slowly opening one section of the point, then rolling it up to move on the other, adds a dimension of time which is unknown in any other form of the paintings. This is even more true in the case of the horizontal scroll. Describing about the features of the ancient China landscape, the writer here says, in many more cases of the paintings, artists made by the artists of the ancient China is to show their figure horizontally, in which the action of the slowly opening one section of the paintings, so that we can see the secret meaning, the mysterious meaning, the wonderful sense of their paintings, then rolling it up to move on the other, creating some kind of figure or picture so that we may think about something other. In this way, as a dimension of time which is unknown in any other form of painting, so that we could form something different figures, learning something from their paintings. It also requires the active participation of the weaver. The writer here says that someone can feel or realize the meaning of the paintings made by the artists of the China if we could participate in them wholeheartedly, controlling balance and peace of our mind, who decides at what pace will he travel through the painting, a participation which is physical as well as mental, describing about the features of the landscapes or figures made by the artist of the China. The writer here says that it is very essential for us that we must have to participate in their figures as well as in their pictures, both physically as well as mentally. The Chinese painter does not want you to borrow his eyes. Describing about the features of the Chinese painter, the writer here points out his opinion and tells us that the painters of the China are quite contrary or quite contrast to the painters of the European as well as Western countries. The Chinese painter does not want you to borrow his eyes. A painter of China does not expect to us to have the same kind of feeling as he himself thinks about his pictures. He wants you to enter his mind. He only expects us, hopes us that we could only realize, we could only feel the real sense to see their pictures, that what they want to tell us. The landscape is an inner one, a spiritual and conceptual space, describing about the features of the landscape of the ancient China. The writer here says that landscape is an inner one, a spiritual and conceptual one, that we cannot explain any figure of the landscape by its outer appearance, but we must have to enter into the spirit of that painting, which is both as spiritual as well as conceptual. This concept is spread as Feng Shui, literally mountain water, which used together represent the world landscape. This weave of painting on landscape is popular throughout the world as the conception of the Feng Shui, whose literary meaning is mountain water in language of China, which used together represent the world landscape. This word mountain water is quite exact to represent the true meaning or appearance of a figure of something special landscape, more than two elements of an image. The writer here points out his opinion that to describe, to explain the real meaning of a landscape means we must have to develop, we must have to create opinions more than two ideas. These represent two complementary poles. The word mountain is made by two words. The very first word is mountain and the second word is water. Here the writer represents both the word mountain and the water as two poles, reflecting the Tao's view of the universe, which clarifies the theory of the universe expressed by Tao. The mountain is young. In the language of the classical China, the word mountain is known as young, reaching vertically towards heaven, stable, warm and dry in the scene, whose meaning is that have a proper knowledge about our sky, about our heaven, vertically, which is stable, warm and dry in the sun, while the water is yin. In Chinese language, we can describe water as the second element, which is known as yin, horizontal and respecting on the earth, whose meaning is to have a picture of some special landscape horizontally, which is in form of fluid, which is moist, which is deep, which is refreshed, and which is cold. The interaction of yin, the respective feminine aspect of universal energy, describing about the word yin in detail. The writer here points out his view and says that word yin is in feminine gender, which represents the universal energy of the nature, and its counterpart young active of the masculine is of course fundamental notion of the ocean. And the second word, the young, which is used for the mountain, shows the active energy, which is feminine one, of course fundamental notions of the ocean. This is the fundamental features of the theory of the ocean. What is often overlooked is an essential third element. Describing about the element of the mountain and water as well as yang and yin, we often forget to describe about the very third essential element, which is known as Wai in language of the China. This can be compared with the yogic practice of pranayama, breathe in, breathe in, breathe out. The writer here compares the word Wai to the practice of the pranayama. It means to take breathe inside, thereafter to breathe it outside. The suspension of breath is the void where meditation occurs. To take the breath inside and to put it outside is a kind of meditation. The middle void is essential, but between the outer and the inner breathing, the third void is most essential. Nothing can happen without it. As we can realize, in absence of this third essential element, hence the importance of the wide unpainted space in China's landscape. It means, without describing about the word wide, we can know nothing about a real landscape made by any artist of the ancient China. Dear students, now some question may be formed on paragraph number 5, 4, 5 and 6. These questions are written here on the blackboard. I hope that after learning the video of the paragraph number 4 4, 5 and 6, you will try to give proper answer, suitable answer to these questions one by one. The very first question is, which form of the painting did the emperor appreciate? प्राचीन चीन के सम्राट तंग ने पेंटिंग के किस स्वरूप की प्रशंसा की थी? The answer of this very question is, the emperor of the ancient China appreciated the outer appearance of the painting. The outer appearance of the painting. सीधा लिख देंगे, the emperor appreciated the outer appearance of the painting. अर्थात सम्राट ने उस पेंटिंग के बाह्य स्वरूप की प्रशंसा की थी। The second question is, what did the Chinese artist reveal by his work? चाइना के पेंटर और आर्टिस्ट लोग, जो कलाकृतियां बनाने वाले लोग हैं, वे अपने कार्य के माध्यम से किन चीजों को या किन बातों को प्रकट करते हैं? The Chinese artist reveal the true meaning of their work by their work. The third question is, what is the meaning of the word Dao? Dao शब्द का क्या अर्थ होता है? The meaning of Dao is both the path and the way, as well as the method and the mysterious work of the universe made by Chinese artists. The fourth question is, what is the purpose of the classical Chinese landscape? परंपरागत चीन के भूदृश्यों का उल्लेख क्या होता है? The meaning of the classical Chinese landscape is not to produce an actual view about the landscape. The next question is, what does a European painter want to us? एक यूरोपियन पेंटर हमसे क्या चाहता है? The answer of this question is, an European painter wants us to borrow his eyes and look at a particular landscape exactly as he saw it from a specific angle. As he saw it from a specific angle. The next question is, what is the meaning of a Chinese painter about a landscape? किसी भी भूदृश्य के विषय में चीन के पेंटरों का दृष्टिकोण क्या होता है? The view of a Chinese artist about a landscape is not trivial one. The view of the Chinese artist about landscape is that we can enter it from any point. The artist creates a path for our eyes to travel up and down so that we can know the real meaning of it. What does a Chinese painter want to us? A Chinese painter does not want to us to borrow his eyes. He only wants us to enter his mind so that we can form different ideas about his paintings. What is the concept Shen Shui about? The concept of the Shen Shui is about to represent the figure of the landscape of the ancient China. Describe concept of Shen Shui in your own words. किसी भूदृश्य के संबंध में Shen Shui के अवधारणा का अपने शब्दों में उल्लेख कीजिए. तो the concept of Shen Shui, according to Shen Shui concept of landscape, there are more than two elements of an image. अर्थात कोई भी जो तस्वीर होता है, जो आभासी होता है, उसमें दो से अधिक तत्व विद्यमान होते हैं. Which represent two complementary poles. जो दो पूरक तत्वों या ध्रुवों को प्रस्तुत करता है. The very first element is mountain and the second element is water. The first element, mountain, means in English language, in Chinese language, yang, and the second element water means yin. Water is yin, horizontal and resting on earth, which is fluid, moist and cool. Yin is the feminine aspect of universal energy, and yang, active and masculine, is of course a fundamental notion of the Tao. The essential third one element is Yi, where the interaction of yang and the yin take place. Thank you, dear students. I hope that you will complete your exercise and answer all these questions.